I mean, what the tri-state area has gone through, what you just went through to just even get to the fan today, you literally walked in, not to pull the curtain back too much. Moose just slid in here at 9:59 trying to come from Connecticut. Our house was a mess in New Jersey, and I know out there on the roads, people are, navigating this craziness and trying to
dumpster fire.
Get out from a lot of flooded basements and a lot of worse than that. The images from New York City last night were unreal, and I was here for Sandy, and I lost power for 5 days in Sandy, living on the Lower East Side at the time, but this felt totally different in terms of just the water flooding into subways on the streets.
3.5 inches of rain in an hour in Central Park, 4.5 inches of rain, nearly 5 inches of rain in a 4-hour period in Newark. I mean, it was flooding the Newark airport. We'll get to my commute here in a little bit, but I mean, the meteorologist, and I understand it's a very, very difficult job, but I don't need to see the stories today, how stunned they were by the sheer ferocity of the storm last night. And how they were all kind of taken off guard about the amount of rain that the tri-state area got. I mean,
could have used a heads up on that one.
Right, Hurricane Henri, he had everybody basically clearing the shelves in grocery stores across the tri-state area, and I getting everybody prepared and everything like that. Last night, Maggie, it was like end of the world kind of stuff. I mean, it really was. We lost power for a little bit. We had a little bit of flooding in our basement, not a ton, right? Thank God I had that yard work done a couple weeks back, or else basically I would have
the mulch man.
I would have been living in like 6 feet of water last night. I mean, so but the scene, the damage, just the sheer obviously destruction that you saw. Like, you and I had completely different drive-ins this morning. Right? You left at 6 o'clock this morning from your humble abode in Jersey.
But can I tell you why?
You were here at 7:15.
Can I tell you why, though? Because last night we were getting tornado warnings.
Yes.
So we went to the basement. I mean, talk about someone who grew up in the Northeast. Getting a tornado warning asking you to go to the basement is not something I'm particularly familiar with. We got the family all down to the basement, and thank goodness we were down there, because that's when we saw the flooding come into our basement. We're literally it's an unfinished basement. We have storage and stuff.
Yeah.
And the water's coming in through the basement. Moose, we had a foot of water in the basement. All the contents of my basement are now in my living room and in my dining room. We got stuff out, but solely because we were sheltering from a tornado that did touch down in southern Jersey and cause damage. And so with a foot of water, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my commute tomorrow, how am I going to do this? I wake up this morning, all the water is gone.
Sub pump.
Never lost power.
Yeah, there you go.
All the water is gone. So I'm wondering, I'm going to have the commute from hell. How is this going to happen? I'm in an hour.
Yeah, you flew in.
That's normal.
Right, so you flew in. I mean, so you had no issues whatsoever coming in. You were, walked in, skipping in.
I wouldn't call it that.
Like that.
I told you the contents of my basement are in my dining room, right?
But I mean, the point is that you didn't. I sat in 3 hours and 15 minutes of traffic. And we all love technology. And number one is, and this has nothing to do with. I saw at least 30 cars pulled off to the side. I saw one car that was half up a light pole. I saw another car that was burnt out. I saw cars that were basically rear end. I mean, there were so many damaged cars that I saw driving down. It is utterly, and you know what? When you're driving, you have no idea. Number one, so, I mean, for all the men and women out there working the highway department, I saw the police officers out there on the west side of the highway cutting down trees, having chainsaws out there. All of those people that are doing that work today in the massive cleanup here in the tri-state area, God bless you. I mean, because you are getting everyone back up and going here. So, the problem I have is nothing to do with shutting down the roads. By the way, every major roadway in Westchester is shut down. I mean, the Hutch is shut down. The Cross County is shut down. The Sawmill is shut down. You go to the Connecticut Turnpike I-95. That is basically backed up. I was on the Merritt halfway. I mean, the entire Merritt goes about 12, 13 miles from my house until you hit the Hutch. I sat in bumper to bumper traffic for about 9, 10 miles. Now, boo-hoo, right? First world problems, not a big deal. I got here. I'm safe and sound. My family's safe. Everything like that. Here's what I have an issue with, right? Here's what I have an issue with. I have Waze, and everyone gets on me that I'm not the most I'm not that savvy when it comes to the smartphone, getting advanced, this and that, right?
It's not your thing.
Here's what I have an issue with, right? Waze. The Hutch is shut down. Stop sending me to the Hutch. Stop sending me to the Hutch. I'm trying to call Pete Hoffman. I can't get a cell phone call through this morning, right? I'm trying to text them. I'm like, what way are you getting to the city? Like, how exactly are you going to the city? Because Waze, Google Maps on my iPhone, they keep on sending me to the major thoroughfares. They keep on sending me to the Hutch. They keep on sending me to Cross County. They keep on sending me to the Sawmill. I can't go those ways. Send me someplace else. They finally, I had to reboot my phone 3 times. Finally, they send me to, doing, side roads to Riverdale Avenue, to where then I was able to catch the Henry Hudson Parkway, where then I sat in bumper-to-bumper traffic all the way down. It was 3 hours and 15 minutes. I mean, it was an unbelievable drive down. It really was. The sights and scenes, I was snapping photos, sending them to my wife while I was sitting there in bumper-to-bumper traffic. It was just unbelievable. But here's my knock on Waze. Can you please stop sending me to roads that are closed? Please. Yeah, I mean, you're giving me alerts. You're giving me alerts about every single car that is stuck on the side of the road. Is it still there? You know how you get those little adjustments, right? Is it still there? Can you notify us if it's still there? They keep on sending me back to the Hutch. The Hutch is closed. It's closed. I can't go the Hutch. I can't go the Cross County. I can't go the Sawmill. It's all bumper to bumper. Send me the side roads. Like, I'll sit in side traffic on the side roads as long as I know I'm inching my way toward where I need to go. Stop sending me back. Like, I was getting off the Hutch. Like, I got off the Hutch. I was going away from the Hutch. I put back in Waze, 345 Hudson. It sends me back to the Hutch. No. I can't go on the Hutch. No, I can't go on the Cross County. I can't go on the Sawmill. That was my big knock this morning. And finally, it clicked into where it gave me the side roads. Finally.
Waze basically gave you the middle finger. That's what they did.
It was terrible.
They gave you
it was
a thumbs down.
Terrible.
Javier Baez, boo. That's what they gave you.
It was terrible. Now, listen, boo-hoo. I got here safe and sound. I walked in.
Feel better now you got that off your chest.
Oh, no,
because the Waze thing is crowdsourced. That's why. That's the thing about that, isn't it supposed to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the rest of the crowd, they should have known. It's closed.
Nobody's going on the Hutch. The Cross County. I flip on 880, driving down. They're basically pleading with people, stay off the roads. Yeah, every major thoroughfare in Westchester is closed. Right? Oh, they shut down the LIE. They shut down the all different roads on Long Island, whether it be the flooding or trees down, whatever it might be. Like they're pleading with people. If you can stay home, right? You and I were doing a radio show, right? We talk about sport, and we're having fun and doing what we do. And I wanted to get in here, right? I wanted to, we're not doing the show from home anymore.
We feel like we have an obligation to be here.
Obligation to get here, right? So I am by hook or by crook, whether I showed up at 9:59, 10:59, 12 noon, whatever it might be. I was going to get here at some point in time. The fact is that if you were on the roads right now, God bless you. Listen, I mean, it is a massive issue to get to anywhere. If you could stay home because the roads right now are a disaster.
Well, you think that we would be a little bit better equipped to deal with working from home now, considering the last, 18 months. Unfortunately, that's not the case for everyone. There still is a travel advisory out. It's not the state of emergencies, I think, are still in place, New Jersey and New York. They're not saying it's a travel ban necessarily if you have to be on the roads, but they're saying an advisory. If you don't have to be out there, don't go, and try to avoid the stress that Moose had to endure for everybody.
And then I
consider that your warning. If you don't want to believe, New York governor, New Jersey governor, Connecticut governor, listen to Moose.
Right, just stay off the road. And then I call Hoffman. Hoffman's like, yeah, I'm taking side roads. Well, where are you? He's describing roads. I have no idea where the hell he is, right? So I'm like, okay, great. He goes, I'm going to get there about 9:25. I'm like, fantastic. He goes, what time are you getting there? It says right now about 9:50. I go, I'll be lucky if I get there by 9:50. I go, I have no idea. I mean, honestly, it's going in and out. It's adding minutes. It's subtracting minutes. I mean, when I get there, I get there. I'm not really sure. At some point during the 10 to 2 program, I will walk into the studio. I'm not exactly sure when I will walk into the studio.
At some point,
and then I call Maggie.
You leave the car and you just start
Maggie's
running.
having a sip of coffee, feet up. It's like 8:30. I'm like, Maggie, I'm not sure what time I'm going to be there. I flew in this morning. Like,
I left at 6 a.m.
I mean, that is great. Maggie, I could have left at 5:30. It didn't matter. I mean, you should have seen, the amount of cars that I saw that were abandoned. I hope everyone was okay. I really do. Because the amount of cars that I saw abandoned were unbelievable. Literally 30, if not 40 cars that I saw abandoned on the side of the road. And it is insane when you're trying, because you have no idea when you're driving, because people all of a sudden, when the road opens up, they're all of a sudden driving like it's the Autobahn, right? So, and then all of a sudden you pull around the corner and there's 6 cars that are abandoned across the road. So then people are cutting in out of them like they're basically cones. I mean, that is what is going on the
Scary.
roadways right now as we speak. That is what you're dealing with right now. But it was a surreal scene to see. I mean, you feel for the people down south, because we didn't even get the full brunt of Tropical Storm Ida. I mean, what they're going through down south. We came through this, we get 7 to 8 inches of rain in the area, flooding all over the place, and the devastation that it's caused. People without power, unfortunately, the loss of life, 8 people in New York City, 1 person in Jersey, I believe in Sussex County, and just the roadways right now are a complete and utter mess.
So it's, something to... when you live in the suburbs and, you and I both live in the burbs now, and you realize I've got a basement and I live by a swamp and you've already had water in your basement. You kind of understand when these storms happen, you're going to, trees are going to come down. You're probably going to lose power. I mean, for people in New York City, when you are living in an apartment building and you're on the second floor, say you're in Hoboken or Jersey City or whatever it is, and you're doing that apartment living, you never expect that your apartment's going to flood.
No.
When I'm seeing the images from Brooklyn and even Manhattan and Queens, it's because I know myself living in the city for almost 20 years, flooding, and I lived through Sandy on the Lower East Side. Flooding would have been the last thing I ever would have thought when you're looking at the images of people and a guy on a raft basically in Brooklyn going through the streets, smoking a hookah. So way to, I guess, take advantage of the situation and chill out. But it wasn't that cool for everyone else. It's just something you never expect living in New York City. You live in New York City, you expect there's going to be noise. You expect there's going to be crowded. You expect maybe, subway delays. You expect those things. Never tornadoes and massive flooding in New York City. That is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, and then I walk, and now it's a beautiful sunshiny day walking around. But you're not wrong. Talking to one of the guys, member of the cleaning crew here, at Hudson, and as I was walking in, he was asking me if how'd the house do with the storm, and I asked him how he did, and he's like, my apartment, there was water coming through the ceiling. So I was like, are you all right? He's like, yeah, we'll be okay. But that's what they were going through last night, and the scenes in Staten Island, Long Island, the videos, what you saw. The subways, Newark Airport. I mean, the sheer amount of flooding
Newark,
that
was crazy.
Crazy. Got nearly
Terminal
5 inches of rain in 4 hours.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts. And again, we know that this has been devastating. We know that there's been, unfortunately, a loss of life. We know there's also been these stories of these incredible rescues that have been happening for people all over the place. Again, it's probably going to take a while for this to get all cleaned up. We just hope that wherever you are, you're going to stay safe. We're going to try to entertain you today. Of course, we're going to talk a lot of baseball. Both the Yankees
and don't trust Waze.
And the Mets, very entertaining for very different reasons. Yankees snapped their losing streak. You're going to go against Apple now? Careful.
No.
You thought it was bad when I went against...
Waze is actually Google, but there is a setting on Waze to avoid all highways.
I don't know that setting.
Now you do.
Now I do.
Hopefully you'll never need it again.
No, hopefully I'll never need it again.
Waze to me is distracting. That's why I can't have it. It's all those little ghosty figures and showing you stuff that's on the side of the road. I just got to go straight up Google Maps because the interface on Waze... I feel like I'm always about to get into an accident. It's too busy for me.
Oh,
it
Waze.
Is. Yeah, I can't. It's like a video game. I can't follow that.
Yeah, I do like
the little car emojis. I don't need that.
I do like the fact it's interactive. It takes all the information, kind of gets you the fastest route. You can take a route to where it's toll, non-toll, all of those things with Waze that are positive. But I mean, there was a point in time, I called Maggie. We're talking for 15 minutes, and then I had no idea where the hell I was. And I was like, Maggie, listen, I need to go because I'm not sure where I am, and I'm not sure where I'm turning next. So I need to get off the phone right now because I have no idea where I am off this side road. So I got off the phone, and finally I found Riverdale Avenue, the Pete Hoffman special, and made my way down to the city. Thank God.
Crazy. Just crazy out there.